Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. Minus 2025 was not just another year in business. It was a year of transformation, innovation, and game-changing breakthroughs. If you're in this room today, you're part of that wave. You didn't just survive, you thrived. And that's because you embraced one undeniable truth: the power to succeed lies within you. This year, we saw businesses breaking the chains of business as usual. You shattered the ceiling of limitations and stepped into what I like to call business mastery in action. It was about more than profit margins and market shares. It was about creating value, scaling impact, and making a difference. Let's talk about technology for a moment. 2025 wasn't just the year of AI and automation. It was the year we stopped fearing it and started owning it. You didn't just adopt tech, you integrated it into your core. You leveraged it to predict trends, enhance customer experiences, and build systems that practically run themselves. You didn't let the tools define you, you defined how to use the tools to dominate. And then there's leadership. This was the year we redefined what it means to lead. It's not about barking orders, it's about creating culture. It's about inspiring your team, showing up every day with a vision so compelling that everyone wants to be part of it. You mastered not just the what, but the why of leadership. And let me tell you, when you connect with the why, the how becomes unstoppable. But let's not forget resilience. This year threw curveballs at us: economic shifts, supply chain disruptions, new competitors. And yet you adapted. You didn't let the environment control your outcomes. You shifted your mindset, focused on solutions, and turned challenges into opportunities. That's what mastery is: finding the edge where others see an obstacle. Now, relationships, this was huge in 2025. Businesses that thrived this year didn't just sell, they connected. They built trust, created loyalty, and understood their customers on a human level. Because let's face it, in a world where everything is automated, the human connection is what truly sets you apart. And finally, innovation. 2025 will be remembered as the year we stopped waiting for the future and started creating it. You stepped out of the box, broke the mold, and shattered the limits of what was possible. You weren't just following trends, you were setting them. This wasn't the year of playing small. This was the year of thinking big, acting bold, and living the values of business mastery every single day. You are not just participants in this story, you are the authors. And you've written a chapter that will be remembered for generations. Own your mindset. Everything starts here. Success is never about the resources you have. It's about how resourceful you can be. And resourcefulness begins in your mind. In 2025, the most significant transformations happened when you shifted your focus from problems to possibilities. Think about it. How many times did you face a moment where the circumstances seemed stacked against you? Yet, instead of saying, "Why is this happening to me?" you asked, "What can I learn from this? How can I grow from this?" That shift in perspective changed everything. Owning your mindset means taking full responsibility for your emotions, your reactions, and your choices. It's about recognizing that you're not at the mercy of external forces, the economy, competitors, or even setbacks. They don't control you. What controls you is your ability to decide how you will respond. And when you take ownership of that, you reclaim your power. This year, the game changers were the ones who mastered their inner dialogue. You learned to silence the voices of doubt and amplify the voice of certainty. You conditioned yourself to see every challenge as a gift, every failure as feedback, and every opportunity as a chance to step up. You didn't just let life happen to you, you made life happen for you. And let's not underestimate the role of gratitude. When you focus on what's working, when you appreciate the progress instead of fixating on what's missing, your energy shifts. That energy is magnetic. It draws in solutions, resources, and people who align with your vision. Owning your mindset is not a one-time decision, it's a daily practice. It's waking up every morning and deciding to own your day, own your goals, and own your future. And let me tell you, when you own your mindset, there is nothing, absolutely nothing, that can hold you back. Average technology. 2025 wasn't just the year of technological advancement, it was the year we stopped seeing technology as a disruptor and started using it as a catalyst for transformation. Those who thrived understood this technology isn't here to replace us, it's here to replace us, it's here to amplify what we're capable of. Think about the breakthroughs we witnessed. Artificial intelligence didn't just analyze data, it predicted customer behaviors, optimized operations, and created hyper-personalized experiences that made businesses feel more human than ever. Automation didn't just save time, it freed you to focus on innovation, strategy, and relationships. But here's the real key: technology isn't a magic bullet. It's a tool. And like any tool, its impact depends on how you use it. The businesses that excelled in 2025 weren't the ones that blindly followed trends. They were the ones that aligned their tech strategy with their vision. They asked themselves, how can this tool solve my customers' pain points? How can it create real, tangible value? The winners didn't stop at integration, they focused on mastery. They trained their teams not just to use the tools, but to understand them deeply. Because here's the thing, the best technology in the world won't drive results if your team doesn't know how to wield it with precision and purpose. We also saw an incredible rise in ethical tech practices. Leaders weren't just implementing AI or automation for efficiency, they were ensuring these tools align with their values. Data privacy, transparency, and inclusivity became non-negotiables. Why? Because technology is a double-edged sword, and the companies that cared about doing it right earned trust, loyalty, and a reputation that money can't buy. Let's not forget about collaboration. In 2025, technology didn't just streamline internal operations, it connected us like never before. Cloud platforms and digital tools brought global teams together, tearing down barriers of distance and language. The world became smaller and opportunities became bigger. Leverage technology isn't just a principle for this year, it's a mindset for the future. It's about staying curious, staying adaptable, and remembering that technology is only as powerful as the vision of the person using it. And if you're here today, I know you've got a vision that's unstoppable. Let's continue to build it. Redefine leadership. 2025 was the year we shattered the old school model of leadership. The days of barking orders, top-down management, and leading through fear are long gone. Leadership today is not about demanding respect, it's about earning it. It's about inspiring your team to believe in the mission, not because they have to, but because they want to. True leadership is about creating a culture, not just hitting quotas. It's about showing up every day with a vision so powerful and clear that it energizes everyone around you. This year, leaders who excelled weren't just managers, they were motivators, innovators, and connectors. They led from the front, not the top. You see, leadership isn't a title, it's a state of being. It's about how you show up in the moments that matter. In 2025, we saw leaders step into uncertainty with courage. When challenges arose, they didn't panic, they pivoted. They stayed calm, focused, and determined, showing their teams what resilience looks like in action. One of the biggest shifts was the focus on empathy. Great leaders didn't just understand their business, they understood their people. They listened. They asked questions. They got to the heart of what their teams needed to succeed, not just professionally, but personally. Because when you invest in people, they invest back in your vision. And let's talk about accountability. In 2025, leaders who stood out were the ones who owned their mistakes. They didn't hide behind excuses or point fingers. They took responsibility, learned, and moved forward. That kind of integrity builds trust, and trust is the foundation of every thriving team. But perhaps the most powerful evolution in leadership was this: great leaders didn't create followers, they created more leaders. They empowered their teams to step up, take ownership, and bring their unique strengths to the table. They recognized that their success wasn't measured by how much they could control, but by how much they could inspire others to contribute and grow. Redefining leadership in 2025 was about stepping into a new paradigm, one rooted in vision, connection, and empowerment. It's about realizing that leadership isn't just about what you do, it's about who you are. And when you lead with authenticity and purpose, you don't just build a team, you build a legacy. Embrace resilience. 2025 wasn't smooth sailing, it tested us in ways we never imagined. Economic shifts, unexpected disruptions, new competitors, it seemed like challenges were coming from every direction. But here's the truth, it's not the challenges that define us, it's how we respond to them. And in 2025, those who embraced resilience didn't just endure, they thrived. Resilience isn't about avoiding obstacles, it's about seeing obstacles as opportunities to grow. It's the ability to adapt, pivot, and keep moving forward no matter what's happening around you. Think about it when the pressure's on, that's when you discover your true potential. Diamonds are formed under pressure, not in comfort. This year, the most successful leaders and businesses rewired their mindset. Instead of saying, why me, they asked, what's next? They didn't let fear or uncertainty paralyze them. They took control of what they could, stayed flexible, and focused on solutions. Resilience isn't just about bouncing back, it's about bouncing forward stronger and smarter than before. A big part of resilience in 2025 was preparation. The businesses that thrived didn't wait for the storm to hit, they built their ships in advance. They had contingency plans, diversified strategies, and the agility to pivot when the unexpected arrived. Resilience is about being proactive, not reactive. But let's not forget the human side of resilience. This year, we learned that resilience isn't about being unbreakable, it's about being willing to bend without breaking. It's about vulnerability, asking for help when you need it, and surrounding yourself with a support system that lifts you up. The strongest leaders didn't go it alone, they leaned into their teams, their communities, and their mentors. Resilience also comes from staying connected to your purpose. When your why is strong, nothing can shake you. This year, the most resilient individuals and organizations stayed laser focused on their mission, using it as a compass to navigate through uncertainty. In 2025, resilience wasn't just a trait, it became a strategy. It wasn't about avoiding adversity, it was about thriving because of it. And as we move forward, resilience will continue to be the foundation that allows us to rise above, create breakthroughs, and achieve mastery in every area of life and business. Build emotional intelligence. In 2025, the businesses and leaders who stood out weren't just the smartest, they were the most emotionally intelligent. Why? Because in a world full of automation, data, and algorithms, it's the human connection that truly sets you apart. Emotional intelligence, or EQ, became the game changer that allowed you to lead with heart while driving results. At its core, emotional intelligence is about self-awareness. It's understanding your emotions, knowing your triggers, and recognizing how you show up in different situations. Leaders who mastered EQ in 2025 didn't just react to circumstances, they responded with intention. They understood that controlling their emotions wasn't about suppressing them, it was about channeling them in ways that empowered themselves and those around them. But EQ isn't just about self, it's about others. Leaders with high emotional intelligence knew how to read the room. They listened actively, paid attention to nonverbal cues, and showed empathy. In 2025, these leaders didn't just hear their teams and customers, they truly understood them. And when people feel understood, they feel valued. That's the foundation of loyalty, trust, and collaboration. Let's talk about managing conflict. This year, businesses that thrived didn't avoid difficult conversations, they navigated them with grace. Leaders used their emotional intelligence to de-escalate tensions, find common ground, and turn challenges into opportunities for growth. They didn't see conflict as a threat, but as a chance to strengthen relationships and solve problems together. Emotional intelligence also showed up in how leaders motivated their teams. People aren't inspired by goals, they're inspired by purpose. And leaders with EQ knew how to tap into that deeper motivation. They recognized the individual strengths, fears, and aspirations of their team members and aligned those with the mission of the organization. Finally, emotional intelligence played a massive role in decision-making. The best decisions in 2025 weren't just logical, they were empathetic. Leaders didn't just ask what's best for the business, they asked what's best for the people, our employees, our customers, and our communities. They understood that long-term success comes from building relationships, not just closing deals. Building emotional intelligence wasn't just a soft skill in 2025, it was a power skill. It bridged the gap between strategy and humanity, between vision and action. And it reminded us that in the end, business isn't about numbers, it's about people. Master EQ, and you'll master not just business, but life. Innovate relentlessly. 2025 wasn't the year to play it safe. It was the year innovation took center stage, transforming businesses and industries. Those who thrived didn't wait for opportunities to come knocking, they created them. Relentless innovation wasn't just a buzzword, it was a mindset, a discipline, and a way of life. At its core, innovation is about challenging the status quo. It's asking yourself, how can we do this better? Faster. Smarter. This year, the best leaders didn't settle for good enough. They consistently sought new ways to serve their customers, streamline their operations, and disrupt their markets. Innovation wasn't just about technology, though, that played a big role. It was about creativity, thinking outside the box and breaking free from traditional boundaries. It was about looking at problems from a fresh perspective and daring to take risks. Because let's face it, without risk, there's no reward. The most successful businesses in 2025 didn't wait for permission to innovate, they led the charge. They empowered their teams to experiment, fail, and try again. Failure wasn't a setback, it was a stepping stone. Every mistake brought valuable lessons, and those lessons became the fuel for breakthroughs. But here's the secret: relentless innovation doesn't happen in isolation. It's powered by collaboration. The game changers this year didn't rely solely on internal ideas, they tapped into their networks, their customers, and even their competitors to spark new thinking. They knew that diverse perspectives create stronger solutions. We also saw a major shift toward purpose-driven innovation. Businesses weren't just asking, how can we make a profit? They were asking, how can we make an impact? The most innovative ideas weren't just about convenience, they were about solving real-world problems, creating sustainable solutions, and improving lives. And let's not forget the role of agility. In 2025, innovation wasn't a one-time event, it was an ongoing process. The most resilient leaders and companies stayed flexible, ready to pivot as market demands changed. They understood that innovation isn't just about creating something new, it's about staying relevant and adaptable in a constantly evolving landscape. Relentless innovation is the fuel for progress. It's what transforms small ideas into big movements. And it's not just about what you build, it's about the mindset you bring to the table every single day. When you innovate relentlessly, you don't just keep up with the future, you create it. Focus on relationships. In 2025, the businesses and leaders who excelled didn't just build products or services, they built relationships. Because here's the truth: in a world where everything is becoming automated and transactional, genuine human connection is what sets you apart. People don't do business with companies, they do business with people they trust, respect, and connect with. Focusing on relationships starts with your customers. This year, successful leaders didn't just ask, what do they need? They went deeper, asking, what do they value? What drives them? How can we exceed their expectations? The key wasn't just meeting needs, but creating unforgettable experiences. Businesses that thrived in 2025 understood that customer loyalty isn't bought, it's earned, one authentic interaction at a time. But it's not just about customers, it's also about your team. The best leaders in 2025 recognized that a thriving business starts with a thriving culture. They built environments where people felt seen, heard, and valued. They understood that when you invest in your team, they invest in your vision. Relationships extend beyond your internal network. Partnerships and collaborations were game changers this year. Businesses that focused on building alliances didn't just expand their reach, they amplified their impact. They understood the power of working together to create something greater than they could achieve alone. Trust was the cornerstone of every relationship. The leaders who made the biggest strides in 2025 were transparent, consistent, and authentic. They delivered on their promises, communicated openly, and handled challenges with integrity. Trust isn't built overnight, but when it's there, it becomes an unshakable foundation for growth. And let's talk about empathy. Leaders who excelled this year didn't just connect with people on a professional level, they connected on a human level. They took the time to understand the emotions, challenges, and dreams of those they worked with. That's the magic of relationships. When people feel understood, they feel inspired to go the extra mile. Focusing on relationships isn't just a strategy, it's a way of being. It's about showing up with intention, putting people first, and creating a legacy of connection and trust. Because at the end of the day, the success of your business isn't measured by the numbers alone, it's measured by the lives you touch and the bonds you build. Master your finances. In 2025, businesses that thrived didn't just manage their finances, they mastered them. Financial success wasn't about having a large budget or securing investment. It was about making strategic decisions, optimizing resources, and staying disciplined even in times of uncertainty. Mastering your finances starts with understanding your numbers. This year, the most successful leaders knew their financials inside and out. They didn't rely on guesswork or blind assumptions. They had a clear, real-time picture of where their money was going, where it was coming from, and how it could be better utilized. It's about being proactive, not reactive, and making decisions based on data, not intuition. But it's not just about cutting costs, it's about managing cash flow. In 2025, businesses that succeeded understood the importance of liquidity. They didn't just hoard cash, they invested it wisely. They understood that to grow, you need to allocate resources to the right areas, whether it's technology, talent, or expansion. They also mastered the balance between short-term needs and long-term vision. Financial discipline was critical this year. The businesses that excelled didn't splurge on quick wins, they made strategic investments with clear returns. They understood that every dollar spent had to generate value, whether it was through marketing, R&D, or operational improvements. But let's not forget the importance of profitability. In 2025, more businesses than ever focused on creating profit rather than just revenue. They understood that revenue alone isn't the key to success. Profitability is what fuels growth, sustainability, and freedom. This meant focusing on margins, reducing waste, and finding efficiencies that allowed them to scale without sacrificing their bottom line. The most successful leaders didn't treat their finances as something to fear, they treated them as a tool for growth. They invested in financial education, hired the right experts, and created systems that ensured financial health at every level of their business. And here's the final piece: mindset. Mastering your finances isn't just about spreadsheets and numbers, it's about your attitude toward money. The most successful business had a wealth mindset. They didn't see money as scarce, they saw it as an abundant tool for its expansion. They understood that when you manage your finances with intention and wisdom, money becomes a resource for creating opportunities, making a bigger impact, and fueling the future. Mastering your finances in 2025 wasn't optional, it was essential. When you have control over your finances, you unlock the ability to scale, innovate, and ultimately create a lasting, sustainable business. Adapt quickly. 2025 was a year where speed wasn't just an advantage, it was a necessity. In today's fast-paced world, the businesses and leaders who adapted quickly were the ones who succeeded. The ability to pivot, adjust, and evolve with the market was no longer a nice-to-have. Skill, it became the foundation of growth. Adaptation begins with a mindset of agility. The leaders who thrived in 2025 didn't cling to outdated strategies or resist change. They understood that flexibility is a key component of success. When faced with unexpected shifts in the market, changes in consumer behavior, or new technologies, they didn't panic, they moved quickly to recalibrate, adjusting their tactics without losing sight of their larger vision. The businesses that adapted quickly were the ones who fostered a culture of innovation and experimentation. They encouraged teams to test new ideas, fail fast, and learn even faster. When things didn't work out as planned, they didn't see it as a setback, they saw it as a chance to gather insights and refine their approach. Technology played a huge role in the ability to adapt. Those who leveraged data and analytics in real time could spot trends, detect shifts in the market, and make informed decisions quickly. Businesses that had the tools and systems in place to monitor, analyze, and respond instantly were in the best position to adapt and lead. But adaptation wasn't just about reacting to external factors, it was about anticipating change. The most successful businesses in 2025 were the ones who didn't just wait for disruption to hit, they actively looked for opportunities to innovate and stay ahead of the curve. They didn't follow trends, they set them. They created strategies that were future-proof, positioning themselves to evolve before the market required it. Adaptation also meant embracing uncertainty. In 2025, the companies that thrived weren't the ones that had all the answers, they were the ones who weren't afraid to experiment, explore new territory, and fail forward. They recognized that staying in the comfort zone was the real risk. Growth and progress came from stepping into the unknown with courage and confidence. In the end, adapting quickly wasn't just about responding to challenges, it was about creating opportunities from them. Leaders who mastered this principle recognized that the world around them was always changing, and the key to staying relevant was to change with it. They didn't let the world dictate their pace, they set the pace themselves. Adapt quickly and you won't just survive change, you'll thrive because of it. This mindset of agility will continue to drive success in the years ahead, ensuring that you're always one step ahead of the competition, ready to seize the next big opportunity. And commit to lifelong learning. In 2025, success wasn't defined by what you knew, it was defined by how much you were willing to learn. The most successful leaders, entrepreneurs, and businesses weren't the ones who had all the answers, they were the ones who committed to constantly evolving, growing, and acquiring new skills. Lifelong learning became not just a strategy for success, it became the key to staying relevant in an ever-changing world. Learning isn't something that happens once and is done, it's a continuous journey. The leaders who thrived in 2025 didn't just rely on past successes or knowledge. They sought new information, challenged their assumptions, and surrounded themselves with mentors, experts, and individuals who pushed them to think bigger. They understood that no matter how much they knew, there was always more to discover. The pace of change today means that what worked yesterday might not work tomorrow. That's why those who embraced lifelong learning had a huge advantage. They didn't wait for someone to teach them, they took ownership of their personal development. They enrolled in courses, attended workshops, read books, and most importantly, applied what they learned. But it wasn't just about technical skills or business knowledge. The best leaders in 2025 also committed to developing themselves emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. They understood that growth wasn't just about acquiring new strategies, it was about becoming better human beings. They learned how to manage stress, handle failure, and develop emotional intelligence to lead with purpose and empathy. In a world that's constantly evolving, being a learner isn't just a personal growth strategy, it's a competitive edge. Lifelong learning doesn't just keep you ahead of the curve, it allows you to shape the curve. The more you learn, the more you can anticipate changes, innovate, and create solutions that others can't even imagine yet. And it's not just about learning in isolation, it's about learning in community. The most successful individuals in 2025 were part of learning ecosystems, groups of like-minded people who shared knowledge, challenged each other's thinking, and held each other accountable. They understood that growth happens in collaboration, not isolation. The commitment to lifelong learning doesn't just create opportunities for individuals, it creates a culture of growth within organizations. When businesses foster a learning culture, they create environments where innovation thrives, where employees are encouraged to think critically, take risks, and constantly seek improvement. It becomes a mindset that fuels creativity, adaptability, and long-term success. Lifelong learning is the key to staying at the top of your game. It's the foundation that allows you to navigate any challenge, adapt to any change, and achieve success year after year. When you commit to learning, you commit to growth. And when you commit to growth, there are no limits to what you can achieve. Prioritize health and well-being. In 2025, one of the biggest breakthroughs wasn't a new business strategy or technological advancement, it was the realization that personal health and well-being are at the core of sustainable success. The leaders and entrepreneurs who achieved the most this year understood that to perform at their highest level, they had to take care of their minds, bodies, and souls. They recognized that success doesn't just happen in the boardroom, it starts with how you show up every single day. Health isn't just about physical fitness, it's about mental clarity, emotional stability, and resilience. The most successful leaders in 2025 prioritize not just working hard, but working smart. They understood that taking time to recharge, sleep well, eat nourishing food, and exercise isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. When you're physically healthy, you have the energy and strength to take on the world's challenges. Without it, nothing else matters. Mental health was equally important. This year, we saw a massive shift in how leaders approach stress, burnout, and anxiety. The most effective individuals in 2025 didn't ignore the pressures they faced. They took proactive steps to manage their mental well-being. They practiced mindfulness, meditation, and other tools to keep their minds sharp and calm, even in high-pressure situations. They understood that mental resilience was just as crucial as business strategy. Emotional health is often the overlooked piece of the puzzle. The best leaders of 2025 didn't just focus on pushing through their emotions, they embraced them. They worked on emotional regulation, understanding their feelings, and cultivating empathy for themselves and others. They didn't bottle things up, they expressed themselves in healthy ways, which created an environment of trust and authenticity with their teams. But here's the truth, when you don't prioritize your health, everything suffers. Business, relationships, personal growth, none of it thrives if you're running on empty. Leaders who flourished in 2025 took personal responsibility for their health. They set boundaries, built in time for self-care, and made their well-being a non-negotiable part of their routine. This allowed them to bring their best selves to every challenge and opportunity. The companies that did the best this year created cultures that supported the health and well-being of their teams. They implemented wellness programs, offered flexible work schedules, and encouraged breaks. They understood that when employees feel cared for and supported, they're not just more productive, they're more engaged, loyal, and creative. Prioritizing health and well-being was a key differentiator in 2025. It's the foundation for sustainable high performance. When you take care of your body and mind, you unlock your true potential and set yourself up for long-term success. Because without health, all the skills, strategies, and ambition in the world won't lead to lasting fulfillment. It's only when you feel strong, focused, and balanced that you can create the impact you're capable of. Lead with purpose. In 2025, the most successful businesses weren't just driven by profit, they were driven by purpose. They understood that when you lead with purpose, everything else falls into place. Purpose becomes the North Star that guides every decision, shapes every action, and fuels every breakthrough. It's what attracts the best talent, builds loyal customer bases, and creates a lasting impact. Leading with purpose isn't just about having a mission statement on the wall. It's about living and breathing that purpose every single day. The businesses that thrived in 2025 had leaders who were deeply connected to why they existed, who their work was serving, and what kind of difference they wanted to make in the world. This sense of purpose transcended the day-to-day operations. It became the driving force behind every decision they made. Purpose-driven leadership starts with a deep understanding of what you stand for. It's about aligning your personal values with your business goals. The most successful leaders in 2025 didn't just chase success for success's sake, they sought meaningful success. They knew that when their work was aligned with their values, it wasn't just fulfilling, it was powerful. This year, businesses that led with purpose created cultures that were inspired by the mission, not just the paycheck. They attracted people who weren't just looking for a job, they were looking for a cause. Purpose-driven organizations were magnets for top talent because they offered more than a paycheck, they offered an opportunity to make a difference. Employees who believed in the company's purpose were more engaged, motivated, and committed. They didn't just work for the company, they worked for the mission. Purpose also played a major role in customer loyalty. The most successful brands didn't just sell products or services, they sold values. They didn't just meet needs, they inspired people. They connected with their customers on a deeper level, showing them how their brand could help make the world a better place. In 2025, consumers weren't just interested in what companies sold, they cared about why companies sold it. Leading with purpose also means embracing responsibility. Purpose-driven leaders in 2025 didn't just talk about making an impact, they took action. They understood that leadership isn't just about guiding others towards success, it's about being responsible for the community, the environment, and society at large. They used their influence to drive positive change, whether through sustainable practices, community engagement, or philanthropy. When you lead with purpose, you create a lasting legacy. Your impact goes beyond profits and quarterly results. It's about the mark you leave on the world and the lives you touch along the way. Purpose-driven leadership isn't just about achieving your goals, it's about creating a life that matters in a business that has a meaningful and lasting influence. In 2025, the businesses that led with purpose didn't just survive, they thrived. They were resilient in the face of challenges, united in their mission, and empowered to create change. Purpose is the foundation that holds everything together: vision, strategy, relationships, and success. When you lead with purpose, you don't just build a business, you build a movement. Embrace diversity and inclusion. In 2025, businesses that thrive recognize the power of diversity and inclusion not just as a moral imperative, but as a competitive advantage. They understood that diverse perspectives, experiences, and voices drive innovation, creativity, and growth. The most successful leaders didn't just tolerate differences, they celebrated them. Embracing diversity wasn't just the right thing to do, it was the smart thing to do. Diversity goes beyond race and gender. It encompasses a wide range of backgrounds, experiences, skills, and perspectives. In 2025, the companies that excelled actively sought out diversity in their teams, recognizing that a mix of viewpoints leads to better decision-making, greater problem-solving, and more dynamic ideas. They built teams that reflected the diverse world they served, understanding that innovation thrives when people from all walks of life bring their unique insights to the table. Inclusion is where diversity takes root. A diverse team is powerful, but only if everyone feels heard, valued, and included. The best business of 2025 didn't just hire diverse talent, they made sure that every individual felt empowered to contribute their full potential. Inclusion meant creating a culture where everyone had equal opportunities to succeed, where differences were respected, and where collaboration thrived. Leaders who embraced diversity and inclusion didn't just talk about it, they took action. They put systems in place to ensure that diverse voices were heard, that policies were fair, and that opportunities were accessible to all. They didn't just aim for representation, they aimed for equity, ensuring that every employee had the resources and support they needed to thrive. Embracing diversity also meant understanding the value of emotional intelligence. Leaders who excelled in 2025 knew how to navigate different cultural norms, communication styles, and expectations. They listened actively, respected differences, and built bridges across divides. They understood that true inclusion is about creating a space where everyone feels they belong, not just that they fit in. The impact of diversity and inclusion wasn't just internal. Businesses that championed these values also connected more deeply with their customers. Consumers in 2025 were more discerning than ever. They wanted to do business with companies that reflected their values and supported diverse communities. Brands that were diverse and inclusive built stronger relationships with customers because they showed they understood and cared about the experiences and needs of different groups. But embracing diversity and inclusion didn't just stop with employees and customers. It extended to partnerships and collaborations as well. The companies that thrived were the ones that sought out diverse suppliers, engaged with different communities, and formed alliances with organizations that shared their values. They saw diversity as an opportunity for growth, not a challenge. In 2025, those who embraced diversity and inclusion didn't just achieve business success, they created environments where innovation, creativity, and connection flourished. Diversity wasn't a trend, it was the foundation for a more powerful, inclusive, and sustainable future. When you embrace diversity and inclusion, you don't just elevate your team, you elevate your entire business. Build strong networks. In 2025, the most successful leaders and businesses understood that the power of relationships and networks was unparalleled. They didn't just build connections, they built strong, authentic networks that supported and elevated their growth. The leaders who thrived didn't go it alone. They understood that success is a collective effort, and surrounding yourself with the right people is one of the most powerful tools in your arsenal. Building strong networks begins with authenticity. The leaders who excelled in 2025 weren't just looking to extract value from others, they were focused on building mutually beneficial relationships. They didn't treat networking as a transactional activity, but as an opportunity to share knowledge, offer support, and build trust. When you approach networking with a mindset of giving rather than just getting, the returns are exponential. Successful networking also means being strategic. In 2025, leaders didn't just network with anyone, they surrounded themselves with individuals who could elevate their vision. They built networks with people who brought new perspectives, different expertise, and fresh ideas to the table. They sought out individuals who could challenge their thinking, offer guidance, and provide opportunities. Building a network of high-quality relationships, not just a large quantity of connections, became the game changer. In today's world, networks aren't just built in boardrooms or at events, they're built digitally. Leaders and businesses that thrived in 2025 recognized the importance of building their online presence and connecting with others through social media, professional platforms, and digital communities. They weren't just passive participants, they were active contributors, engaging with others, sharing insights, and fostering relationships online. Networking isn't just about getting ahead, it's about helping others succeed too. The most effective leaders in 2025 weren't just focused on their own growth, they were dedicated to lifting others up. They mentored, collaborated, and provided opportunities to those in their network. They understood that by helping others reach their potential, they created a cycle of growth and support that benefited everyone involved. Strong networks also provide resilience. In times of uncertainty or challenge, a robust network is a critical resource. When leaders faced obstacles, they didn't have to rely solely on their own resources. They could turn to their network for advice, support, or collaboration. Whether it was navigating a business downturn, solving a complex problem, or seizing a new opportunity, a strong network provided the guidance and assistance needed to stay on track. Finally, the businesses that thrived in 2025 weren't just concerned with traditional networking. They focused on building communities. A community isn't just a network of people, it's a group bound by shared values, goals, and aspirations. The leaders who built communities were able to foster deep loyalty and engagement, creating a sense of belonging that went far beyond business transactions. Their customers, employees, and partners were more than just stakeholders. They were active, invested members of a shared journey. In 2025, the most successful businesses weren't just focused on building profits, they were focused on building relationships. A strong network isn't just about accumulating contacts, it's about creating meaningful, lasting connections that fuel growth, provide opportunities, and create lasting impact. When you invest in your network, you invest in your future. Harness technology and innovation. In 2025, the most successful businesses didn't just keep up with technological advancements, they actively harnessed them to drive growth, efficiency, and innovation. Leaders recognize that technology is no longer a luxury or an afterthought, it's the backbone of modern business. The companies that thrived were the ones that integrated technology into every aspect of their operations, from product development to customer service to marketing. Harnessing technology starts with a mindset of embracing change. The leaders who excelled this year weren't afraid of disruption, they saw it as an opportunity. They understood that every new technological advancement offered a chance to innovate, streamline processes, and create better experiences for their customers. They didn't shy away from adopting new tools, software, or platforms. They leaned into it, constantly looking for ways to improve and evolve. But it's not just about adopting technology for the sake of it. Successful businesses in 2025 knew how to integrate it thoughtfully and strategically. They didn't implement new tools without a clear purpose. Instead, they asked, how will this technology improve our efficiency? How will it enhance the customer experience? How will it help us innovate? When technology is aligned with the company's goals, it becomes a force multiplier. Automation was a major focus in 2025. Businesses that embraced automation didn't just free up time, they unlocked new levels of efficiency and scalability. Whether it was automating routine tasks, streamlining operations, or using artificial intelligence for data analysis, companies that harnessed automation were able to focus more on high-value activities. They could spend more time on strategy, innovation, and growth while the technology handled the repetitive tasks. Data analytics also became a key differentiator in 2025. Businesses that thrived understood the power of data and used it to make informed decisions. They didn't just collect data, they analyzed it, understood it, and used it to predict trends, understand customer behavior, and optimize their operations. Real-time analytics empowered leaders to act quickly, stay ahead of the competition, and refine their strategies with precision. Innovation wasn't limited to products, it also extended to business models. The most successful businesses in 2025 weren't just focused on refining existing offerings, they were constantly exploring new ways to deliver value. They experimented with subscription models, digital services, and innovative partnerships. They leveraged technology to find new revenue streams and create fresh value propositions. In the world of customer experience, technology played a central role. Companies that excelled in 2025 used technology to deliver more personalized, seamless, and efficient experiences. Whether through AI-driven recommendations, chatbots for customer service, or augmented reality for product trials, businesses used technology to meet customer expectations at a whole new level. The most successful businesses didn't just provide service, they provided experiences that wowed customers and kept them coming back. And let's not forget cybersecurity. As businesses increasingly relied on digital platforms, protecting customer data and ensuring secure transactions became paramount. The leaders who thrived in 2025 invested heavily in cybersecurity, understanding that trust is the foundation of any successful relationship. By ensuring their systems were safe, secure, and transparent, they built customer confidence and safeguarded their long-term growth. In 2025, the businesses that harnessed technology and innovation weren't just surviving, they were thriving. They weren't passive consumers of new tools, they were active creators using technology as a springboard to drive growth, optimize operations, and redefine what's possible. When you embrace technology as a powerful ally, you unlock unlimited potential to disrupt, innovate, and lead. Focus on customer experience. In 2025, the businesses that stood out weren't just the ones with the best products or the most efficient operations, they were the ones that truly understood their customers and delivered exceptional experiences. The leaders who thrived recognized that customer experience isn't just a department or a series of touch points, it's the entire journey. From the first interaction to the post-purchase support, every step of the customer experience matters. At the heart of a great customer experience is empathy. The most successful businesses in 2025 didn't just focus on what they were selling, they focused on how their customers were feeling. They listened to their customers' pain points, desires, and needs, and they used that information to create personalized, meaningful experiences. They made their customers feel understood, valued, and appreciated. When you approach customer experience from a place of empathy, you build trust, loyalty, and lasting relationships. The companies that excelled in customer experience this year also understood the power of personalization. In 2025, customers expected businesses to know them and provide tailored solutions. The most successful brands didn't treat every customer the same. They used data and insights to create highly personalized interactions. Whether through product recommendations, targeted content, or individualized support, businesses that embraced personalization delivered a level of service that felt truly unique to each customer. In today's digital world, customer experience extends far beyond physical interactions. Successful businesses in 2025 created seamless experiences across all channels. Whether customers were engaging with a brand online, in a store, through a mobile app, or over the phone, the experience was consistent, smooth, and intuitive. The best companies ensured that customers could transition between channels without friction, keeping the experience fluid and unified. Customer experience isn't just about meeting expectations, it's about exceeding them. The businesses that thrived in 2025 didn't settle for good enough, they went above and beyond to delight their customers. Whether it was offering exceptional customer support, delivering products faster than expected, or adding unexpected perks or bonuses, they consistently exceeded customer expectations. This level of service created raving fans who didn't just return, they spread the word and brought others along for the ride. In 2025, customer experience was also about listening and responding quickly. With the rise of social media and online reviews, customers have a louder voice than ever. The most successful brands were those that didn't shy away from feedback. They actively sought out customer input, responded to complaints, and made real-time adjustments based on what they heard. They understood that negative feedback isn't a setback, it's an opportunity to improve and deepen customer trust. Technology played a huge role in enhancing the customer experience. Companies that excelled in 2025 leveraged AI, chatbots, and automation to provide faster, more efficient service. But they didn't let technology replace the human touch. Instead, they used technology to enhance the customer experience by providing faster responses, more accurate information, and a more seamless journey. The balance of automation and human interaction created a perfect blend that satisfied both efficiency and empathy. At its core, the best customer experiences are about building relationships, not just transactions. The businesses that thrived in 2025 weren't just focused on making a sale, they were focused on creating long-term relationships. They kept customers engaged with regular communication, exclusive offers, and loyalty programs. They made customers feel like they were part of something bigger than a simple business transaction. They made them feel like valued members of a community. In 2025, the businesses that put customer experience at the center of everything they did were the ones that stood out. They didn't just aim to deliver good products or services, they aimed to deliver outstanding, memorable experiences. When you make customer experience a priority, you build not just a customer base, but a loyal tribe of supporters who will choose your brand again and again. Adapt to change quickly. In 2025, the businesses that excelled weren't the ones that avoided change, they were the ones that embraced it. In a world that's evolving faster than ever before, the key to success lies in your ability to adapt quickly. Leaders who thrived this year understood that change is constant and inevitable. Rather than resisting it, they sought out ways to leverage change as an opportunity to grow, innovate, and stay ahead of the competition. Adaptability starts with mindset. The most successful leaders in 2025 had a growth mindset. They saw challenges and disruptions not as threats, but as chances to learn and evolve. They didn't shy away from the unknown, they leaned into it. They understood that to stay relevant in today's world, you have to be willing to change, experiment, and rethink your strategies at a moment's notice. They didn't get attached to old ways of doing things. They remained open to new possibilities and trusted their ability to pivot when necessary. Adapting to change also requires a deep understanding of the environment around you. The businesses that thrived in 2025 weren't just reactive, they were proactive. They monitored industry trends, stayed informed about technological advancements, and listened to their customers. By staying ahead of the curve, they were able to anticipate changes before they happened and act on them before their competitors could. The leaders who adapted best weren't just responding to change, they were predicting it. But adaptability doesn't mean abandoning your core values. The most successful businesses in 2025 didn't change just for the sake of change. They adapted in ways that stayed true to their mission, vision, and purpose. They remained rooted in their values while remaining flexible in their approach. This allowed them to navigate change without losing their identity. It's about knowing what you stand for, even as you pivot and evolve. One of the biggest shifts in 2025 was the rise of digital transformation. The leaders who adapted quickly were the ones who embraced technology and used it to their advantage. They didn't wait for digital transformation to happen, they made it happen. They understood that digital tools and platforms were no longer optional, they were essential for growth and competitiveness. The businesses that thrived were the ones that rapidly implemented new technology, whether it was automation, AI, or advanced data analytics. However, adapting to change also requires agility and decision-making. The leaders who succeeded in 2025 weren't bogged down by bureaucracy, they were agile. They were able to make quick decisions, pivot their strategies when necessary, and seize opportunities on the fly. They created a culture of agility within their organizations, empowering their teams to respond to changes quickly and efficiently. This fast decision-making allowed them to stay nimble and responsive in an unpredictable environment. Communication was another key to adapting to change in 2025. Leaders who thrived understood that change can create uncertainty and anxiety, so they communicated clearly and consistently with their teams. They provided guidance, kept everyone informed, and helped their teams understand the rationale behind the changes. This transparency built trust and made it easier for employees to embrace change. When people know why things are changing and how it will affect them, they're more likely to get on board and be part of the solution. Adapting to change also meant taking risks. The leaders who thrived in 2025 weren't afraid to fail. They understood that taking risks is part of innovation, and that not every change would be an immediate success. But they weren't afraid to experiment and learn from their failures. They built a culture where risk-taking was encouraged and failures were seen as opportunities for growth, not setbacks. Finally, businesses that adapted to change quickly in 2025 also understood the importance of staying flexible in their strategies. The most successful organizations didn't stick to rigid plans, they continuously assessed and adjusted their strategies based on what they learned. They knew that flexibility and execution was just as important as having a clear vision. They were comfortable changing their course when the landscape shifted, ensuring that their business stayed relevant and competitive in a rapidly changing world. In 2025, adaptability was a key factor in business success. Those who embraced change, adapted quickly, and made it a strategic advantage didn't just survive, they thrived. By staying agile, staying informed, and remaining open to new possibilities, they positioned themselves to not just keep up with change, but to lead it. The future belongs to the adaptable, those who can evolve in real time and create new opportunities in the face of disruption. Develop resilience. In 2025, the businesses that excelled weren't the ones that had the fewest setbacks or challenges, they were the ones that developed resilience. The ability to bounce back from adversity, to keep moving forward when things get tough, is what separated the best from the rest. Resilience isn't just about weathering a storm, it's about growing stronger because of the challenges you face. Resilience starts with mindset. Leaders who thrived in 2025 understood that setbacks, failures, and difficulties are part of the journey. They don't define it. They cultivated a mindset that saw obstacles as learning opportunities, not as roadblocks. They taught themselves and their teams to stay focused on the bigger picture and not get discouraged by temporary setbacks. When challenges arose, they didn't ask, "Why is this happening to me?" They asked, "What can I learn from this?" A resilient business is also one that is prepared for change and uncertainty. The leaders who succeeded in 2025 didn't wait for a crisis to happen, they planned for it. They built their organizations to be flexible, adaptable, and capable of adjusting when circumstances changed. They understood that resilience isn't just about bouncing back, it's about anticipating challenges and building systems and processes that could withstand them. Building resilience in your organization also means fostering a culture of support. The most successful leaders in 2025 didn't expect their teams to handle adversity alone, they provided the support needed to overcome challenges together. They built strong relationships, open communication, and a culture of collaboration. When one person faced a setback, the team was there to help them get back on their feet. Resilience is about collective strength, not individual endurance. Another key aspect of resilience is emotional intelligence. In 2025, leaders who thrived were those who could manage their emotions and keep calm under pressure. They didn't panic in the face of adversity, they remained focused, composed, and solution-oriented. They understood that maintaining emotional control allowed them to think clearly, make better decisions, and inspire their teams to do the same. Resilience also requires perseverance. The businesses that excelled in 2025 didn't give up easily. They faced challenges head-on and continued to push forward no matter how difficult the road ahead seemed. They kept their eyes on their goals even when the path was unclear. They took consistent, deliberate action and stayed committed to their mission, no matter the obstacles. In times of difficulty, leaders who developed resilience also understood the importance of self-care. Resilient leaders didn't burn themselves out by working around the clock, they made time to recharge, to reflect, and to take care of their mental and physical well-being. They knew that in order to lead through challenges, they needed to maintain their own strength. A resilient leader leads by example, showing their team that resilience doesn't just come from working harder, it comes from taking care of yourself and staying balanced. Resilience in business is also about maintaining a long-term vision. In 2025, the most successful leaders didn't focus solely on short-term outcomes, they kept their eyes on the long-term mission. Even when faced with immediate setbacks, they were able to see beyond the current moment and remember the bigger picture. This allowed them to navigate difficulties with a sense of purpose and determination. Lastly, the businesses that thrived in 2025 developed resilience by learning from their failures. They didn't shy away from mistakes, they embraced them as part of the growth process. Every failure became a lesson, every setback a chance to improve. They built systems of feedback and continuous learning into their organizations, ensuring that each challenge made them stronger, smarter, and more capable moving forward. In 2025, resilience wasn't just about surviving, it was about thriving through adversity. The businesses that developed resilience became stronger in the face of challenges. They learned, grew, and adapted in ways that allowed them to not just overcome obstacles, but to use them as stepping stones toward success. Resilience is a muscle that gets stronger the more you use it, and the leaders who built that muscle were the ones who came out on top. Foster a culture of innovation. In 2025, the businesses that thrived were the ones that made innovation part of their DNA. Innovation isn't just about creating new products or services, it's about fostering a mindset and a culture that constantly looks for ways to improve, evolve, and disrupt the status quo. Leaders understood that to stay ahead in an ever-changing market, they needed to build an environment where creativity, experimentation, and new ideas were not only encouraged but expected. Fostering a culture of innovation begins with leadership. The most successful leaders in 2025 didn't just talk about the importance of innovation, they led by example. They modeled innovative thinking in their own decisions and behaviors. They created an atmosphere where taking risks, trying new things, and challenging traditional ways of doing things was not only accepted but celebrated. Leaders knew that if they wanted their teams to innovate, they had to show them how. A culture of innovation thrives in an environment of psychological safety. The businesses that excelled in 2025 built workplaces where employees felt safe to speak up, share ideas, and take risks without fear of judgment or failure. They knew that great ideas can come from anywhere within the organization, not just from the top. When people feel safe to express their creativity and share their thoughts, innovation flourishes. In 2025, innovation was also about breaking down silos. The most successful companies weren't divided into isolated departments that worked independently. They embraced cross-functional collaboration. They understood that the best ideas often come from diverse perspectives and skill sets. By encouraging teams to work together, share insights, and combine their expertise, businesses were able to create more innovative solutions and move faster than their competitors. The businesses that thrived in 2025 also embraced experimentation as a key part of innovation. They didn't wait for perfect solutions, they focused on iterating, testing, and refining. They used a fail fast, learn faster approach where they rapidly prototyped, tested new ideas, and adjusted based on feedback. They understood that not every innovation would be a success, but every experiment would provide valuable lessons that could lead to greater breakthroughs. Technology played a huge role in fostering innovation. The most successful companies in 2025 were those that leveraged new technologies like artificial intelligence, machine learning, and automation to spark new ideas and improve their processes. They use technology to gather data, understand trends, and identify new opportunities, but they also use technology to automate routine tasks, freeing up human creativity to focus on higher value, more innovative work. Technology wasn't seen as a replacement for creativity, it was an enabler. To create a culture of innovation, businesses also had to prioritize continuous learning. The companies that thrived in 2025 invested in the growth and development of their teams. They encouraged employees to learn new skills, stay up to date with industry trends, and explore new areas of knowledge. A culture of innovation requires a constant influx of fresh ideas and new thinking, and businesses that prioritized learning created an environment where innovation was always bubbling up. Another key element of fostering innovation in 2025 was celebrating success and learning from failure. The most innovative companies didn't just reward successful ideas, they celebrated the effort, creativity, and risk-taking that went into trying something new. Even when ideas didn't work out, they recognized the value in trying. This helped remove the fear of failure, encouraging employees to take bold steps and think outside the box. Innovation also meant being customer-centric. The most successful businesses in 2025 didn't innovate just for the sake of innovation, they innovated to solve real customer problems. They spent time listening to their customers, understanding their pain points, and using that feedback to drive innovation. Whether through new products, services, or better experiences, they focused on delivering value and making a positive impact on their customers' lives. Lastly, fostering a culture of innovation requires patience and persistence. The companies that succeeded in 2025 understood that innovation doesn't happen overnight. They committed to long-term goals and cultivated an environment where ongoing innovation was part of the company's evolution. They didn't expect instant results. They understood that innovation is a continuous journey that requires sustained effort and commitment. In 2025, businesses that fostered a culture of innovation didn't just keep up with the times, they led the way. They created an environment where creativity thrived, where new ideas were constantly being tested, and where employees felt empowered to make a difference. They knew that to succeed in the long run, they had to keep evolving, adapting, and finding new ways to create value. Innovation wasn't just an initiative, it was a way of life. Lead with purpose and vision. In 2025, the businesses that truly thrived weren't just focused on making profits, they were driven by a deeper sense of purpose. They understood that having a clear vision, a compelling mission, and a strong set of values was the key to long-term success. Leaders in these organizations knew that people don't just want to work for a company, they want to work for a company that stands for something meaningful. Purpose-driven leadership inspired employees, attracted customers, and created an unstoppable momentum that kept the business moving forward, even through the toughest of times. Leading with purpose begins with clarity. The best leaders in 2025 didn't just have a vague idea of where they wanted their company to go. They had a crystal clear vision of their mission, values, and goals. They were able to communicate that vision consistently, making it something every employee could connect with. This clarity gave everyone in the organization a sense of direction and made them feel like they were part of something bigger than themselves. People want to know why their work matters, and when they understand the company's purpose, they're more motivated, engaged, and committed to achieving that vision. Purpose-driven leadership also requires authenticity. Leaders who succeeded in 2025 didn't just talk about values, they lived them. They led by example, aligning their actions with the company's mission. Employees, customers, and stakeholders could see that the company was genuinely committed to its purpose. Authenticity in leadership build trust, and trust is the foundation of strong relationships, both within the company and with customers. When leaders are true to their values, they inspire others to do the same. A company's purpose also has the power to attract the right talent. The businesses that excelled in 2025 didn't just offer competitive salaries and benefits, they offered a chance to be part of something meaningful. People today want to work for organizations that are making a positive impact, whether it's on society, the environment, or their customers' lives. Leaders who are able to connect their team to a compelling purpose create a culture of passion and dedication. Employees are more likely to stay, work hard, and contribute to the success of the company when they feel aligned with its mission. Leading with purpose also means making decisions based on values. The most successful businesses in 2025 didn't just make decisions based on profit margins, they considered how those decisions would impact their people, their community, and their customers. They made ethical, responsible choices that reflected their values. This created a sense of integrity within the company as well as loyalty from customers and stakeholders who saw that the business was genuinely committed to doing the right thing, even when it wasn't the easiest path. Purpose-driven companies also knew that a strong vision helps them navigate uncertainty. In times of change or adversity, leaders who are connected to a clear purpose can guide their teams through the storm. When the road ahead is unclear, a strong, well-communicated vision acts as a beacon that helps everyone stay focused and motivated. Employees know that even in difficult times, the company is committed to its long-term mission, which gives them the confidence to keep moving forward. Additionally, leading with purpose and vision in 2025 meant staying focused on making a positive impact. Businesses that thrived weren't just focused on financial returns, they were focused on creating value for their customers, their employees, and the world around them. They understood that business success and social responsibility go hand in hand. By aligning their business practices with social good, these leaders attracted customers who shared their values and were loyal to the brand because it stood for something that mattered. Another key element of leading with purpose is long-term thinking. The most successful companies didn't chase short-term gains at the expense of their values. They were committed to sustainable growth, and they understood that leading with purpose wasn't a short-term strategy, it was a long-term commitment. This approach gave them resilience in the face of market shifts, economic changes, or public opinion. They weren't just in business for the moment, they were in business for the future with a clear vision that would guide them for years to come. In 2025, leaders who led with purpose and vision didn't just inspire their teams, they created a movement. They built businesses that attracted people who were excited to be part of something greater than themselves. By aligning their actions with a clear mission and staying committed to their core values, they created organizations that not only succeeded financially, but also made a real lasting impact on the world. These businesses didn't just chase profit, they pursued purpose, and in doing so, they achieved lasting success. Leading with purpose isn't just a trend, it's a transformation. When you have a clear, compelling vision and a strong sense of purpose, you create a company that is resilient, innovative, and deeply connected to its customers and employees. It's the foundation of success that goes beyond the bottom line and builds a legacy that lasts. Purpose-driven leadership is the future, and it's the key to sustainable success in 2025 and beyond.